What's up, everybody, to another episode of Sakura, the most useless talk show about anime and gaming. I am your host, Deez, and as always, we are joined by NoGoodTsunax, and our special guest for today is GABFIVE. Gab, what's up?
Hey!
Tell the people a little bit about yourself.
Okie dokie. I am a New York City born and raised locale, and I stream full-time on Twitch. I play all the games, mainly Valorant, which I'm pretty bad at, but I could heal you. And I am a gigantic weeb. I go by Taco Otaku, and yeah, don't talk shit about that name. I really like it, you know?
How is it different in the voice comms for a female? Because I know I have a couple close friends who play like Call of Duty and everything, and as soon as they turn on their mics, it's just, bitch, or like get in the kitchen and shit like that.
Yeah.
Like even as far like my wife plays games and she has to play with the lobby muted all the time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like for Call of Duty, for example, like I obviously, as you could tell, I came from like a WoW background. I came from like MMORPGs. I didn't come from like a like a shooter background. I wasn't playing like 1 point whatever Counter-Strike, and I didn't play all the CODs. And when people talk about zombies and World War whatever, I just nod my head. But this current COD that came out last October, like that was my first COD. My friends pretty much bullied me into playing it, saying, "Well, then you're not gonna have anyone to play with if you don't play this." So I dropped the $60. I got the game, and I knew enough to mute the lobby instantly. That was the first thing I did, because I primarily like game on stream. You know what I mean? Because if you're playing games and you're a streamer, there's no reason to be playing games and not streaming. It just doesn't make sense. You know what I mean? And like I understand like downtime or whatever, but that's again conversation for another podcast. But I do not keep comms on at all if I can help it. Call of Duty, for example, I think once or twice I opened them because my friends are like, no, like everybody seems chill. I opened it and it was just like, is that a girl? And I was like, off, like, because it's gonna go from girl to like, if I have Twitch in my name, which I do on like some accounts, like Valorant, I learned to take that out real quick because I was getting stream sniped constantly. And like Call of Duty, I have Twitch in my name, in my tag. Fortnite, it's like, gab5.twitch. Don't add me, I won't add you back. Seriously, don't. And because of that, you get like, I think 23 times more harassment than the normal girl. Like, are you a streamer? But you got like 2 viewers? Yeah, your tits out. It's
oh my God.
like, it's so like simple-minded. These people are so sad. And like, there's the trolls that come into your Twitch chat that are one thing, you know what I mean? They're like, can I see your titty? And it's just like, oh, sweetheart, like, when you come of age, like, you'll meet a nice girl and maybe things will work out for you. You have to change literally everything about yourself for that to happen, but I have faith in you, band. Easy. Now, if you're in a game, I get tilted easy. I get tilted real easy. So when somebody starts trolling me, now we're going to move from Call of Duty to Valorant real quick. The other night, we had these kids, I picked Sage. And they're like, yo, Sage, if you don't start like dropping mad bombs and you get top frag, I hope you uninstall the game as soon as it ends, girl. Like, cause you a puss. Because we all made the mistake of saying what up in the lobby. You know what I mean? And I guess they heard that I was a chick. And I was like, okay, cool. So like, you just insulted me 14 times, told me to uninstall, and to top frag a Sage, which means basically heal no one. Got it. You don't understand the game. Cool. And then he proceeded throughout the game to, as I was helping my friends, I was playing with 2 kids who were like pretty new. And every time I gave them a tip, he's like, why are you trying to listen to a woman for? Like, it's not like they're ever going to be president or some shit. It's because they're all stupid, dog. Don't you know? Don't you know? And then I got tilted. And when I get tilted, I either like shut down and play like garbage, or I get verbally vicious. In this situation, I started telling him that he was a lot of things, virgin being like the nicest, you know what I mean? And then they're like, yo, he's got a girl. And I'm like, his mom don't count. Fucking, and then it got to the point where I had to mute them on voice chat because it was getting like way too toxic for like my stream to hear. And I was getting way too toxic to period. And then it went to text chat, and then in text chat, which is another terrible thing, he started telling me to come through to the crib so he could teach me where hard work will get me. And like, well, I was like, wait, what? And then he's like, come through to the crib, dog. Like, come through to the crib. Seriously. No. It's good. You scared? You scared, little bitch? And I'm like,
it's a scary thing to go to a stranger's house. I mean,
yeah. Like, A, where you live? Let's go. I'll fuck you up. And B, no, dude. Like, are you seriously threatening me with violence in real life because you're bad at a game? I proceeded to stand still and get murked. Like, I would move so I wouldn't get AFK. And I would stand still, do sprays. I was like shooting dicks into like the wall, you know what I mean? Like the shape of like penis. I'm real good at shooting dicks in Valorant. And I would spray and like draw a little penis around it. And I was just doing that and getting murked over and over. Like, I think I had like 2 kills and like, I don't know, 18 deaths before we surrendered. And I threw mad hard just to piss him off. But like, I will not tolerate that kind of like behavior in a video game ever. You know what I mean? And I don't sacrifice my games. I try to just mute everything, but then sometimes there are the exceptions. Like that game where right out of the lobby the dude was like, you know what I mean, just spitting like pure like acid at you, and you're just like, well, you know, here's some back, motherfucker. Like, and it becomes this whole thing. But I don't know. Mute the lobby, mute the randoms. That was the first and only like heavy toxic situation that I've been in Valorant. But like League was terrible. I played League briefly. That was just horrific. The things that people say in text chat in there are just disgusting. So I stopped playing that real quick. Heroes, I think Heroes and Overwatch are like the 2 most positive games there are, you know, in terms of community and like trolling like and harassment towards women. Blizzard knows what they're doing. You know what I mean? But Call of Duty, man, Jesus Christ.
Call of Duty is tough. I know even as a dude, like I'll get on and you do something good and you hear N-word this or N-word that, or I play with a couple girls in my crew and you hear, oh, what's your IG, or you should be in the kitchen, but that's light. I'm assuming that's light because we're there with her. Mm-hmm. And all my friends are assholes or trolls and everything, so we just getting them mad. So I could only imagine what it's like if, like, we weren't around and they was just talking all that shit. That's why I wanted to ask you about that too.
It gets bad. Like, it gets bad. Like I said, a few times I've like unmuted in COD have just been like, because we'll be playing cross-platform with like PlayStation people. They don't have Discord. I'm like, all right, like I'll unmute, and I accidentally unmute the whole thing, and it's just like somebody drops like a hard R instantly, and it's just like, no. I don't care if I'm offline. I don't care if I'm off stream. I still wouldn't leave it on, you know, because between the shit that they'll say if they know you're a girl and the shit that they'll say because they think they have the right to for some reason, you know what I mean? They think it's funny to be like, you know, to talk like they're just living, you know, centuries ago and in this horrifically like racist climate. Like, you know what I mean? I don't know what's so cool about talking like that. What do you get out of that, dude? Do you feel good about yourself? Like, does it make you feel like strong? Like, I would love to be a psychologist for one of those kids, just to like crack them, like, and understand what goes on in that head and try and like repair it. But that would be like half the gaming community overall. So
probably the ignorance. Like they want to get at you so bad to hurt you that they know they should have been saying it, but they know there's a chance that it's gonna hurt you, so they just say it anyways.
I don't know, man. That's why I got City Anime. Every time you get stressed, just throw on some City Anime, and it's just like, look at this beauty that exists in the world, you know?
I never understood why when there was a girl on mic, guys just had like this like immediate reaction to girl, and I was just like, what's wrong with people? Because of that though, that literally like shafted my views, like to like where when I would hear people like bullying people, like girls online, I thought like, oh, I mean, I get bullied too sometimes because I was like one of the younger people on the consoles at the time. So I'm like, I don't really see it. But then I realized that they didn't just bully them because they're young or because they are squeakers or anything like that. It was simply the fact that they were a girl on the game, and then like it didn't make sense to me. Even now to this day, I don't understand it, and I don't. It prompts people, like especially girl gamers, to not talk at all with mics, or to talk to people they're not okay with talking with, because for some reason just unmuting your mic and saying something, like it's you just receive harassment for no reason, and I don't understand it to this day. And I think part of it has to do with just how fucked up some people think.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess since the anonymity of like being behind like a screen, same thing with like Twitter and stuff, they can just express either how they really feel or just how fucked up they are through a game to people that don't really even deserve it, right? Because if you want to
Yeah.
be fucked with someone, like at least make sure they deserve it, right? But to get bullied for being a girl and just being told to get in the kitchen and stuff, that to me to this day doesn't make any sense to me. And earlier you said that some of the nicer games are Overwatch and stuff, but that's honestly, without trying to say that you're wrong or that you're incorrect, that's where I've been playing it a lot lately, and that's where I've been seeing it a lot, and I don't understand why that is. But there's also like an underlying, like the people don't straight up say it, but like it's some kind of like sexist view that females must play support, and that if you're
Right.
playing EPS for some reason, like, oh no, you should be playing, why aren't you playing Mercy, why aren't you playing a healer, like why aren't you playing healer, like you should be playing healer, you're a girl. And I don't understand that to this day either. But and I see it a lot on there, like toxicity towards females. I'm not gonna say like I haven't seen it in COD, because I have seen it. Haven't seen it
Mhm.
much recently, because I've kind of dropped COD in general. Like Infinite Warfare, Ghost, those were kind of bad, so I kind of didn't play those.
Mhm.
But I just to this day, like, I don't believe and I don't think that just because I'm a female, I should be afraid to turn on the mic, because I'm afraid I'll receive harassment. And I don't know why it feels like when this stuff happens, the people that say these things just seem to get away with saying it, you know?
Yeah.
And there's just and then like the underlying like sexism in games that females should play support. I've never really understood it. That's why when I play with, like, when I notice it's a female player, I'll try not to be I guess, what's the word? Overly
Judgmental.
no, not even judgmental, but I'm never really judgmental, but overly nice to them, or I guess judgmental too, because I understand that they might want to, they might be afraid of like talking, but they won't say too much because they're afraid they'll get like burned or roasted or something. But like, just to kind of like show supportive like themes, I'm not gonna be trying to be too nice, but like try to make them feel like fit in like any other player, because like I don't like the fact that they just get attacked for no reason. And I just wanted to know, like, are your opinion, because you mentioned this earlier, and now that I'm kind of done ranting, I do see it a lot on Overwatch because the game I've been playing lately.
Mhm.
What is your take on all this? Because as a female gamer, you've already explained earlier that you've dealt with the harassment and you've had times where you just like rage and go get a little too toxic on mic because of these. And I just want to know, like, so what is your take on this? And as someone who experiences it, what do you think like is the right steps to maybe avoid this for people, so everybody can have a really good experience on there? Because I don't know if you guys are aware, like 45, 43 something percent of gamers are actually girls, right? I don't know if y'all know this, but you would never be able to tell
Right.
because they don't talk. You
Yeah.
wouldn't know, right?
Because we've either been told to keep our mouths shut or we've learned to keep our mouths shut.
Yeah.
You know? And very rarely will you find like the brave girl who's like, who just jumps in there and she's like, all right, guys, let's fucking do this. You know what I mean? Everybody's like, whoa, confidence, you know? But you not only have to have an overwhelming amount of confidence in real life to be able to be that girl, but you have to like bring that into your game and probably not experience the same level of like harassment that other girls have. And I've seen that. I've seen like brave chicks. Like I was watching this streamer, American Dad. He's fucking great. The other day, and he was playing Valorant, and this girl Megan, just named Megan, is in the game. Top frag, going off, comms beautiful. You know what I mean? Obviously a headset mic, which was a little unfortunate, but you know, nice voice, good confidence. Like girl had it all, right? And everybody was just like, whoa. And it was so cool to see dudes just like not only like chilling, acting like everything's fine, but like enamored by her presence. You know what I mean? And it's like, so, which that confused me actually a little more. It was so cool at the time, and then afterwards I was thinking, and I'm like, yo, do you have to impress the men you're playing with in order to deserve like their respect in a game? Or like, do you have to just enter there with like a ton of confidence and like pretty much like run the show be like pack leader? Like, is that the way you have to do it in order to, do you have to demand, the respect in that regard? Like, how does it work? You know what I mean? I personally don't get it, because like I'll play support because honestly, it's a vital role. But also because let's rewind. You know what I mean? Now I'm like, I like playing supports. I love sports. But if I go back in time to when I started playing Final Fantasy XIV, Realm Reborn, which is like an MMORPG, it's incredible, beautiful game, great story. I remember signing up, and I was dating someone, and they forced me to play this game. I didn't really like Final Fantasy. It was always too pretty for me. Too much story, too much reading. I liked like fighting games and shit. When I was younger, like Tony Hawk games and stuff. I never played the Final Fantasies. So he's like, oh, you should play like a white mage, which is the healer. And I'm like, why? I love DPS. I love magical DPS. I play a mage. You know that. Why can't I play the mage in this game, the black mage? And they're like, you should probably heal. That's like really hard. And this is someone I dated for 4 years. They're like one of my good friends. Like I don't think they meant anything by it. I think that they were just so conditioned by so many years of gaming that they, just their brain like went right to girl heal. It's easy. It's a great like way for you to start. And I think about that now, and it's like, would I be healing so much? Would I be playing so many support characters? Maybe if it weren't for that, for me getting placed inside that like box, the support box, like from my first run at this, And even when like WoW Classic came out, I was like, oh, I can't wait to roll a mage in WoW Classic, just like the old days. Maybe I'll play Warlock because that was my first character, all magical DPS. And my friends, my old school friends who I played WoW with back in the day, were all like, oh, I don't know, like why don't you just play like a priest? And that's, I think, maybe like another moment where it dawned on me where I was like, huh, it was just a couple of years ago now. You know what I mean? We're all grown up, and still they were like, why don't you just play a priest? We really need a priest. And like, yeah, true, we needed a priest. And someone else wanted to play Warlock, but like, that's my main, dude. You know what I mean? Why don't you play a priest? And they're like, oh, I don't play that. Why? I think there's like this, even with Valorant now, there's like a stigma around like girl support, and I don't get it. I don't know where it came from. I don't know why it exists. Maybe because they think that like we're not as talented. We're not as like, frag out, like, drop bombs, like, I'm gonna drop a 40 bomb this game. Like, maybe they just think that we're less capable. And playing a support is easier because you don't have to worry about damage. You don't have to worry about taking damage. You pretty much just stand in the back and do your job. And being told to play a support is basically the same as being told to like get back in the kitchen, sweetie. You know what I mean? And it's just like, do you blame their mentalities? Their mentalities that they shaped themselves throughout their life, because it's, in this modern age, like we kind of figure out who we are on our own. Or do you blame parenting? Which I really feel like is less and less like prevalent these days, but still could be the cause. You know what I mean? Did they grow up in a household where that was just the dynamic, that women were less capable? And that's how, when you're raised with like a certain mentality, you carry that mentality into adulthood, unless you're like hyper aware of shit and in quote unquote woke. You know what I mean? And you can really change your upbringing, which is very hard for anyone to do. I think that's usually the cause is the parenting. And, kind of like I grew up in, my mom worked, right? Like she did her thing, but then she had me and she stopped working. She was a full-time mom. She was a housewife technically. And she always used to tell me like, oh, you'll find a nice man to take care of you. And I got to a certain age where I was just like, I don't want that. Why would I ever want that? Why would I ever want someone to like dote on me? And she's like, that's just how it is. And I'm like, that's not how it is. Like, are you insane? Like, I rebelled against that mentality in many things, because I had common sense. And I just think that that's like a disgusting way to think, that like you should be taken care of by someone and you should kind of take care of them in the meantime. And it's just like, and then, and then you apply that to like World of Warcraft in my first run, and, I dated a tank and I was, this, and it's just like, and to this day, like, I feel like it's still a thing. And it's just really fucking weird, dude. It's really weird. I think it's mainly parenting. I think it really falls onto the parents and the fact that even as adults, like a lot of men like don't shake that like upbringing, you know? They
Mhm.
listen to like how they're, you know, to what their dad taught them because they think that's the right thing to do. They, you know, or maybe out of fear, you know, and maybe out of just being simple-minded. You know, most people don't think outside the box and explore what other options there are. Most people grow up like respecting and fearing their parents, which is not, you know, you weren't born into this world to live for someone else. You were born into this world to live for yourself, to make your own decisions, to follow your own path, not to be like the mental servant of your fucking parents. And that's just not the case for so many people. I understand that there should be a certain level of love and respect there, you know what I mean? Given you had a good upbringing, whatever, but you should also make your own fucking choices. And you should understand that if your parents are boomers or hippies or whatever the fuck, they probably didn't teach you all the right shit. You know what I mean? I don't mean education wise. I don't mean in terms of like how to love one another, you know. I just mean like certain dynamics might be missing that exist in the modern day and didn't exist then. And you should really, you should wake the fuck up. You know, a lot of people just need to wake the fuck up and come to terms with this shit on their own. And I think that's why you see these things like this 1920s level like sexist shit in games where people are just like, yo, a girl, huh? Play Sage, that's cute. And it's like, you know what, man? Let's see how many kills you get, dude. Let's see who fucking heals you. Let's see how many times you die. Like, do I want to play vindictive like that? No, dude. You know what I mean? I'd rather this guy be like, yo, we got a girl in here, let's hype. All right, cool. That's the last we talk about it. You know what I mean? Like, recognize that I'm a chick if you need to, or don't recognize that I'm a chick because it's not necessary. Either way, it's fine. But, like, just don't be a negative piece of shit. That's all I think I can speak for all females here. That's all we ask is to not be a negative piece of shit. Act like we're one of the boys, act like we're, you know, or just be like, yo, girl, cool. Like, I don't care. You know what I mean? Just be cool about it, man. Or just be like, yo, what's up, everybody? And then when I say, yo, it's good, don't, like, I don't know, like, punch yourself in the face, dude, with the things you say. Like, that's all I'm asking. Like, just be cool. Be cool. I grew up thinking I was one of the guys. I grew up being treated like I was one of the guys. It was gaming where I first experienced not being able to be one of the guys. And that doesn't really make sense to me. You know what I mean? Like, it just doesn't make sense. But whatever. You know, hopefully we can move forward and get out of this. I don't think Gen Z, you know, the little Zoomers are going to be of much help, to be honest with you. I think it's really up to like the millennials to set this shit straight. And hopefully we can do that.
Also lies with the content creators too, because like as far as like I know I have a 8-year-old daughter and she soaks up everything that she sees on YouTube and shit like that. So it's all about the influences too. I know because I stream, but I troll. I troll everybody. I don't care if you dude, female. I don't care if you say something wrong. I'm gonna come at you. But I know in Overwatch, when it's like a team-based game, and I don't care if you're a girl, I just want to win the game.
Right.
And it does suck because I think I ran into this one girl one time that I think all day she was trying to play Overwatch, and it was like you should be playing Mercy or you should be playing Diva or stuff like that. That it got to her. So she was playing tank, and I was playing Zarya, and this was King's Row. And I remember because we were attacking. And you know how as soon as you get out, there's that red bus before you hit the choke. It's like right in front of you in spawn. She was Reinhardt and she had the shield behind that bus. And I'm like, I forgot what her name. We're gonna say player A for now. I was like, yo, play A, come to the choke. We need you. We need your shield at the choke. Don't talk to me like that. You're Reinhardt, right? We need you right here. I mean, do you want me to switch off? I'll be another tank. No, you should have talked to me about that. If I wanted to shield here, I would shield here. And then she just started crying and breaking down. And I was like, was something I said, or was it after I reviewed the VOD, I was like, it couldn't have been that. Like, I told her to play the game the way the game should have been played. But I think all day she probably was like getting beat by dudes on the mic. And me just saying, hey, put your shield on the choke just broke her down. And it was suck because it cost me SR. So that was bad. think I went down. No.
That's pretty sad too. I've actually heard stories. This is something that makes me just want to be like an advocate for this. Um, I've heard people that get bullied to the point where they don't want to play games online anymore, particularly girls, right? To the point where they have to mute the mic because they'll cry because the team is just so toxic and like so fucked up to them that the point where they just can't stand it. And I I, I guess the underlying theme is just don't be a piece of shit. I guess
Yeah.
we're all here to have fun at the end of the day. Like don't like I sometimes your team might not be good, and that doesn't just go for females. It goes for guys too. I have my nephew. I play with him. He likes Fortnite. We'll play. I know he's bad, so it makes me mad that he's bad sometimes. I'm like, why can't you be like these other World Cup kids, right? But at the end of the day, like, just be patient with people that you're playing with. You know, I guess it's just don't be a piece of shit. I guess.